Hey, Juan here. Today we are going to talk about several reasons why product managers fail. So one of the reasons why product managers fail is that they don't try to understand and find actual problems from the users. So in order to build a product, you have to make sure that you are bringing value to people that are having that problem, and your product is actually solving that problem that the users are having. And just having an idea to solve a problem is not necessarily that this is the right solution for your users. You actually have to make sure that you validate your potential solution with the real users of your products to ensure that whatever that you're going to build is actually a real solution for the problems. Another problem that product managers are going to face is when they are not able to define a vision and a strategy for their products. If you are not able to define a vision of what you want to achieve and what are the strategic things that you have to take into account in order to achieve that vision, it's going to be very difficult for you to go and accomplish what you want to accomplish with your product. Basically, what a strategy and a vision are going to tell you is where I want to be in the long term, which is your vision, and then how am I going to get there? And this is going to be your strategy. And out of these strategies, how you can start building your roadmap and how you can actually prioritize all the different features that you will have to build into your product. One of the most common problems that I've seen with product managers is making gut decisions. This means that you will make a decision just because it feels right. It feels that everybody's going to need this. Everybody's going to need this new feature within a product. It's going to bring a lot of value. But without validating a feature with the customers, without finding out if this is a real solution for the problems that they are having, you don't really have a knowledge if this is something that is actually needed for them. And if you think of our previous point about vision and strategy, when you are taking gut decisions, typically you are not going to be focusing on this vision and strategy, and you are probably going to be chasing low-hanging fruits instead of focusing on what your goal is. And when you're chasing low-hanging fruits, probably you are not going to be getting closer to your vision. Another problem that product managers are going to face is not paying attention to go-to-market. Actually, creating features, having the technical readiness to release and to make those features available to your customers doesn't mean that you are actually ready to go to market. It doesn't mean that the users are going to find out about these reasons and learn or know how to use them. So whenever you do release new features, you have to understand that how are you going to make these features discoverable by the people? This is like if you would build a product and you would just put it in an app store and hope for the best. This doesn't mean that people will find it on their own. It might be that if you have a name, if that will help. If you promote it through different channels, that will help. So you have to build your own go-to-market strategy to make sure that people will find the products and the features that you are building. Another problem that product managers are going to face is not knowing their customers, not understanding what customer segments are they serving. What is the real product market fit? Understand what is your customer segments, what values this product is providing to your different customer segments, and finding the correct product market fit, finding which problems your solution is solving with big enough markets to make sense for your business to go for. So how do you find markets where there's enough demand for the kind of solution that you're building for the user's problems? So I already talked about making gut decisions, about not having a strategy, not having a vision. Another problem that is going to be very related to this is not using all the data that you have available within your company. This can be anything. It can be data from the usage of your product. It can be potential market data, so total addressable market studies. It can be data on financials. It can be any kind of data. In any case, whenever you are making a decision of where and which features, which kind of products are you building, you will have to look on all the data available and make as much as possible data-informed decisions, where you try to make sure that the data backs up the decisions that you are making, that the feature that you're building makes sense, but also never forget to talk to your customers or talk to your potential customers, where you go and tell them about the potential solutions that you're building and do they make sense? Is this something that they would be interested and they actually would be willing to purchase from you? And very related to the go-to-market problem, there is going to be the being cross-functional. In the end, when you're in product management, you are kind of at a crossroads. You are a person that has to be talking with pretty much everybody in the company that is working with the product that you're working. So you're going to have to talk with your engineering teams, your designer teams, your marketing teams, support teams, training teams, whatever type of teams, documentation that you have that are working in that product. And make sure that everybody's aligned and working towards achieving the same goal and at the same pace. So understand how you are actually making sure that the machinery is all the time moving and continuously delivering value to the customers via features, via the communication, via the promotion, and making sure that your products and the features that you're releasing are bringing value to your users and actually getting traction when the users are using it. And finally, the main goal of a product manager should be to bring the biggest impact for the company. And it's fairly easy to fail at this task. Sometimes it's easy to find the feature or the products that everybody needs, that it will bring value, that it will be a good solution for an existing problem. But how are we actually going to be able to monetize this feature? How are we going to translate this into something that it reflects what is going to be the return on investment of the features that we are, especially in established companies with established products. Many times there is not a very big study on the return on investment of new features. So features will be just built because they make sense for the users, but not necessarily there's a good translation on what is going to be the return on investment of this feature. So you're going to have to make sure that whatever features you are building are actually going to have an impact on the company's business, are going to be something that helps existing customers to continue to provide value to these existing customers, to make it more appealing for them to stay with you, via subscriptions, licenses, whatever it is. Of course, in an established company, that's one case, but if you think about a startup, creating a business impact might be a completely different thing. For a startup, it might be that it's not so important to be a profitable company at that point. They might be focused more on growth. They might be more focused on conquering the market as much as possible during the growth phase. And once they grow enough, then they will try to become profitable. So in the beginning, maybe what it means for you to cause the biggest impact in a startup is not going to be that the return on investment is translating into finance, but it's translating to gaining market share for your product. As a product manager, you will want to solve a problem that users are having and being able to actually make the biggest impact in your company. And this is easier said than done. It's very easy to think that people can do this, but it's very easy when you have so many moving parts, when you have to work with so many people, when you have to concentrate on so many things, vision, strategy, talking to customers, talking to engineering team, discussing the design, discussing with the sales team, what are the needs that they see on the market, understand how we are going to promote this with marketing, and make sure that actually we are creating products that are valuable for a company. It's actually very tricky because it's very easy to slip in one of these areas and not focusing on some of them. In the end, for product managers, the best is going to have some kind of framework that will help you take into account all these steps and not forgetting them while you are doing your work. I have created a couple of videos talking about what being a product manager is, so I'll link them down below. But what do you think are the biggest challenges for a product manager? Did I miss something? Is there something very important that you think that it should be added here? Please let me know and comment below. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, remember, stay safe.